Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm just going to wait a few minutes for people to log on and find this live. This is December check-in, and also wanted to answer some Q&As, some questions I've been getting via email. So I'll just wait a few more minutes for people to catch on here. So thank you. Welcome to Angel of Divine Love. My name is Heather Aguilera. So this channel has been on, I believe, for maybe five years or so, maybe 4 or 5 years. I created this. Hi, thank you. I created this channel for many reasons, to help me out as like a single mom, also to help others out, and to share my gifts, as a practitioner, a healer. This month of December, it's about change and closing out these cycles. So you could be feeling certain things of this month, a review of what's next, a review of what it is that you would like to finally be complete with. I believe Venus is in retrograde right now. So Venus is with, everything to do with Venus, love and thank you guys. Thank you so much. Love and beauty, right? What is it that we value as in beauty within ourselves, within our energetic system? What is beautiful to you? How do you emanate the sacred beauty that you are? Because we all are that. We all hold very sacred energy and healing energy, and we have the ability to emanate this out. If you have a lack of perception or a lack of just of knowing of who you are, or certainty of who you are, then this is not going to sit well with you. I find, a lot of people are impatient. There's an impatience with listening. There's an impatience with allowing the messages to fully stick and fully come through. I feel that this is from a nervous energy, anxiety energy, wanting quick fixes. And it's not always the case. Not everybody can have a quick fix. Some things take time, and it takes time to go through your healing. It takes time to go through what it is that you're wanting to release. If you've had years and years of conditioning and you want that to be completely gone and obliterated, that takes time. It takes patience with yourself and understanding that you are ultimately your own healer. Yes, people can help, and products can help. I've created many products on this channel that's helped many people over the times. So what I've been getting questions in my email just recently, actually. One person wanted to know if I could help them with multiple things, and I have recordings for to help people that are dealing with deep energies, hard energies to deal with and to clear out. One of which which I suggest to everybody, is my nighttime medicine recording. And that really goes in there. It's something to listen to nightly to help clear out. There's a lot of videos on YouTube to help with that, but that's a recording that I help with. Some of my older videos, some of you have been with me for a long time, and some of you are very new. Thank you for subscribing. But some of you that are looking up some of my older videos, I used to do a custom recording for people, a custom light language recording, which is no longer available. And in my videos throughout the years, I explain why it's no longer available. And please honor that choice of mine, and that I have recordings that that I refer to, that will help with certain things. So if I suggest something, it's for a reason. There's another video, it's called 144, or recording, it's called 144 Keep the Faith, and this is on my website. This is a really good recording for those who are also healing or needing a little bit of deeper cleansing and clearing. I try to be as thorough as I can in this business. I am running this by myself. I don't have anybody to help me. I don't pay anybody. I don't have any of that. This is me organically, of spirit driven, God driven, giving content and lots of content for years for free. And those who would like to work further with me, you're more than welcome to purchase a session. I'm an honest person. I don't try to haggle anybody or try to convince anybody of anything that I can or cannot do. I'm a very honest person and I'm a very genuine person, and I pride myself in this. I have worked many years as a healer and on myself internally. I walk the path. I don't just speak it, I truly walk it daily. This is genuine. Everything that I've talked about on here, I don't always go into what's going on with me personally, and that's a choice, and I have every right to that choice. So honoring that as an individual, as for me to be up here publicly speaking and sharing lots of tools and modalities with a lot of people for many years, it hasn't been easy. I've dealt with stalkers in the past. I've dealt with people trying to talk me down, or, I don't know what that is. But I continue to create content, and I continue to be here, be a force, and do the best that I can. I don't necessarily need to put out videos all the time because my prior work kind of does the work for me. I don't need to pay for sponsorships or any videos to get out to anybody because Spirit does that for me. I also don't need to, promote myself because my energy does that for me. So in this way, I truly feel that I've broken some molds in some of these perceptions on what it is to have a business. And this is more than a business to me. This is energy that I put out. The recordings that I do for light language, I no longer put those out publicly. That's on private use and Patreon only. Because I feel that I've came to a point where I can do that and where I have been guided to do that. I don't necessarily need to explain any of this either, but sometimes when you grow and your energy is growing and your field is growing and your viewers are growing, there has to be some sort of description in where I lay and where I am as an individual, as a healer. I am of Indigenous bloodline. That was a question that was asked. And I believe I've talked about that in other videos on what is my heritage. I've also have it's also kind of private to me on what I do for my heritage. Um, so yes, I sit in ceremonies, and yes, I I learn about deep healing and methods of my culture. And maybe one day I will share more and more of that. But as of now, I'm not guided to, and that's okay. Unless you have questions, I could go into details about that. Um, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to get clear on this and on here and real with you. Sometimes I could be sharp, especially when I'm setting boundaries. And as a female, as a divine feminine, it's it's in the nature of being strong and saying no. It's in a nature of understanding what is okay and what is not. And most people that work with me, they are very intuitive and tuned in and can know and to feel if and when they're ready to work with me. It does take a lot, to understand and to be ready for, to work with somebody like me on one-on-one. So yeah, I think I'm done talking about myself, and I would like to talk about the energies of the December a little bit more. If you have questions, feel free to ask here. Um, I hope I was. I think I was clear enough. I believe I was. So, um, yeah, you could also look at a lot of my videos in the past. There's a lot of tools there. So you are ultimately your best healer. You have what it is within you. But I do suggest that everybody finds their heritage, connect to your bloodline, connect to what it is that you are. Thank you. Um, connect to what it is that is calling you. Who's calling you? Your ancestors, your line, your bloodline. We all have a dismantling of the colonizer to clear. The patriarchy, if you will, the Piscean age. It goes by many names. But it's basically the old template that we're all clearing out of. And we're doing this in collective consciousness. We are doing this together. As one rises, we all rise. Some are going through more suffering than others. Some are going through, kind of power struggles and different things like this. Basically, we go into the balance of who you are navigating your own consciousness. We are multiple, many of us are multiple things. We have multiple talents and have been called to walk this path of sacred consciousness, rising in consciousness, whatever that is and looks like for you. But find what it is your source, what is your strength, through prayer and your own self recognition. This can continue to rise within yourself and to continue to strengthen. December, we are closing the year out. So, this is a review of what was 2021 for you. What was that for you? How was it for you? I've had super changes this year. Super changes this year. Yes. So, Courtney says, I don't know if my comment went through. Basically, this is important for those of us who want to build businesses in a way that are in right relationship with Mother Earth and our spirits. Thank you. Yeah, Courtney, thank you. It is. And, I think I'm going to talk about the right relationship and being in business with Mother Earth and with our lineage. Thank you. Thank you. So, a lot of us come through sacred lineages, and we want to get back into those roots and decolonize it, rising up through the patriarchy, rising up through the Piscean age. If you're not exactly sure what that means, we're literally dismantling old ways and old programming. Okay, this is especially those who are of mixed race, which most of us are of mixed race. My lineage comes through multiple Indigenous lineages. And I have been, as many of you have been, that has been taken away. And we reclaim it. We reclaim it by stepping up into leadership roles. We reclaim it by learning the true way of walking this path. We reclaim it in knowing who we are, you know. So, and going back into the soil, going back into what it is that you're connected to and who you're connected to within your ancestral lineage. If you have ancestors that were not safe for you, this is even deeper work for you to do. Even goes a little deeper and a little harder. You know, so the insanity that the collective is all pushing through, that we all feel sometimes a little unstable and maybe sometimes mentally unwell at times, it's because of these roots that aren't deep enough. They don't sustain enough roots within the earth. This time in our lives that we are all going through collectively is a time where people want to wash away all the programmings that they've heard, literally all of it. It takes time, and it takes real patience with yourself and true teachers as well. So sustaining your right business, you know, being right with yourself and growing, it takes patience, and it also takes backup, feeling backed up, feeling like you are backed up by people and those who encourage you and who believe in you, right? So, you know, I'm going to go back to where I had some stalkers, and I'm going to share about that because that was a couple years ago and I did not share this publicly. And I think it's important for people to know that people that are out on the public and they putting their beliefs out there and they have something. There are people that don't want to see this, to see growth happen, especially in strong women and in men as well. Works both ways. I've had people send things to my house that were not welcomed. I had threats. I had threats going towards my mother. I had threats towards myself. I didn't want to come out with this because I didn't want to feel as a victim. And I wasn't. And I took everything and I told my inner circle, and they helped build me up. And slowly gained back and chose what was safest for me to do at that time. No, I'm no longer making personal videos for individuals. I have videos that are recordings that, because many people have the same issue. So I have many recordings that focus on that same issue that will help with many people at once. I hope that makes sense. So that's why I don't do one-on-one. I mean, I do one-on-one sessions with people, and that's different. Yeah, I'm good. This was in the past. This was years ago. So this is a hurdle that has already been jumped over. So anyways, yeah, no longer doing those custom recordings, but I do one-on-one sessions, and my one-on-one sessions are very powerful and they're very effective. So, and I have had proper training through elders, and I do teach I teach a lot of things. I teach through the elements, and I teach through sacred blessings as well, a prayer. Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, growing your business as a spiritual entrepreneur, if this is what some of you guys are going to continue to do, or are interested in coming more public, I'm not the only one that's dealt with that. I've talked to other healers online, they've dealt with same things. So it's very common, you know. Um, but it's to the extent that some of these energies come through, and to we have to build. It also has helped me to build up strength, and build up my protection, and build up who I am. So in a way, it's all part of, the process. It's all part of this. Yeah. What are exactly are you interested in learning more? And so yeah, it's all part of the process. It's all part of coming out online, building your business, and strengthening through that. I never intended to build my business to have a bunch of followers. It's just it continues to build, and it builds very organically. I don't have to push. I do offer one-on-one sessions. I do. Yeah, I do offer one-on-one sessions, and I do suggest different recordings that I have that are private that can also assist you. So, like I said, I could refer certain things and videos and recordings to you that will help. Um, and I don't have a description, on my website. I don't have a description. It doesn't break down every single recording and what exactly it does. So I do suggest that you use your intuition. And I notice that a lot of people are off of their intuition. Their intuition, they don't necessarily trust it, or they have a lot of confusion with this, or they don't even know what that means to use your intuition. Okay, go to my website, please use your intuition and choose what's best for you. For some reason, this is a hard thing to do, and I'm realizing that I never like thought that was an issue until recently. And the reason why this misalignment happens within people, where they don't trust themselves, where they are not trusting that, oh, if I do this, if I work with this person, I'm confused, I don't know, I can't trust her, I can't trust this. It's usually there's something within yourself that you're not necessarily trusting. And this is where that colonized mind, this is where that patriarchy mind, this is where that Piscean mind comes into to play here. This is what we're dismantling. We're bringing back our power. We're trying to put pieces back together and fragmented essence of us, and come into wholeness, and to trusting the intuition, and to trusting you're guided here for a reason. You can stand firm in that. You can trust who it is that's there. Usually, also, one of my teachers, she was a kundalera, she had taught me, um, she had taught me that right before you are about to make a big shift, right before you're about to have someone come into your life, and it's like the soul knows that this individual is going to help make some change drastically, or maybe quickly or swiftly, you get a little scared, and that's normal. That's very normal to have that. And I know within the Western age, or Western teaching, that's not acknowledged. It's opposite of that. So Western or colonized mind will be like, nope, you have to. If it's all like roses and all good, and if it's all in alignment, you're just gonna feel this great, thing over yourself. You're just gonna have that. And sometimes that does happen. And you have that peace, and that's good, and that's a quality that comes on someone. But other people that are going through this tough, rough stuff, and they have a lot of density to work through, programming to get through. They're not always going to have that. They're going to have some fear. You're going to have a little bit of resistance because there's that programming, that patriarchy, and that it's going to be broken out of. And so that brings up fear and a little bit of uncertainty. So my teacher that taught me that, an old time Mexican healer which is called a Kundadera. She mentioned that, and I couldn't ring more true. So this is where Indigenous teaching is a lot different than a patriarchy or a colonized teaching, Westerner teaching is. So the more Indigenous teaching is very real. It's very practical. It's very simple too. And the way this is, the way we are as a collective here, we have some things to shift out of. And me too, as a healer, like realizing that, the collective that is asking me to step up needs a little bit more explanation on these topics, you know. And yeah, I plan to answer some, and I hope I've given you some clarity on that. And realizing that this is a program that's within the collective that we've all gained, we've all had been subjected to in one way or another. So yeah, gaining your heritage back, connecting to spirit in a deep, profound way, connecting to the elements, and trusting yourself again, realigning yourself with spirit, facing those fears and, your shadows and all of it. It's all part of it. So my path has been, a little different. The things that I've had to hurdle over or face, one of my biggest ones was that it was dealing with stalkers and really weird energies. But I got through it, and I still get a little bit of bully messages here and there, but not much. I maintain it really well. But yeah, I have some great elders that back me up. I have a great lineage that backs me up. So, I just turned 40 this last year, and this was like a pivotal point in my life. This was one of the most pivotal points in my life. I was blessed to have a ceremony in my honor by an elder and on some very sacred land. And yeah, so it was one of the most beautiful things that I've had to go through, that I've experienced. So we experience both of it, all of it. We have to have bravery. We have to have the strength to face those things. A grandmother that I worked with in the past, and you may know her. She's online. She's pretty popular, actually. Her name is Grandmother Flor de Mayo, but I worked with her before she got that, more seen. She had told me that, to keep some of my visions to myself. She had told me to not share everything. And, in Western or colonizer teachings, what they teach opposite. Share your visions, do this and do that. But from an elder giving me advice, she told me not to share too much. And so I do that. I honor that. I honor that teaching that she's given me. Because there's certain visions that I have and that I've received that I don't share. And in respect of my elders, I will share them when necessary or when it's called for, and at the time it's called for. So I want you to see that contrast of indigenous teachings and colonized teachings or patriarchy teachings, Western and westernized teachings. Thank you, you guys. Yeah, so that in itself taught me a lot too. I've been learning a lot, holding this space as a healer, for years. And there's a lot more that I could, share and do, but I have been advised to hold off a little bit, that it's not time yet for some of the teachings that are, coming forward. But I do teach what I can. Yeah, yeah, Reiki Master V. Yeah, exactly. Be careful what you share. Um, and that's true. It's really true. And it's some advice that I've, even my grandmother had taught that as well. So it's it's a really amazing things how these elders, they know, they know. So we don't want to be led by any false energies or false teachings. We want to be led by the spirit, by the true spirit. And sometimes the fear that comes, uh I wouldn't say don't get too close to everyone. I do have my close, I got my crew, I have a really tight crew, and I would like to interview them. I know a lot of amazing people that are doing amazing things, and I would like to interview them. So I'm figuring out, I'm not that computer savvy. So I am figuring out how to do that so they could ask me questions and I could ask them questions. I know some really phenomenal people, and that I would like you all to meet and to learn from too, because they have some great wisdom to share. And I feel like that would be really great. So if anybody, you know how to like set up a podcast and you could help me with that, that would be great. But right now I'm doing like some online research but on how to do that. So, but until then, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this next year I'll be able to do that a little bit more. um you know how, right, Amanda? Well, email me, and yeah, we hopefully we could chat that up. Thank you. I'm glad. I always love hearing that my videos have helped people the way they have. Um, and you know, thank you. Um, yeah. So this channel, like I said, um, I at first, when I first made it, and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I just do? I made this and it's getting really popular, and it was when I was just starting out. I was just like, what did I do? Oh yeah. Yeah. So being too trusting and all that having to do with the relationship. Oh, my picture fell out. Um, all that having to do with relationships, we're all trying right now, especially, um, to to build good relationships. It's one of our key foundations coming into the Aquarian age, coming into the new age. So the new age, basically, it's called by many names, right? New age is one, Aquarian age is another, our new earth, so you'll hear this language are going on from many wisdom keepers, and they all have their own different language, and it's the the higher dimension of Gaia, of what our mother, our sacred mother, is coming into. So she's coming into this new energy. But before we, truly actually get there, we're all going through, different purges. So yeah, we're all going through like different types of purges, different types of purging energy, different types of epiphanies and realizations of who we are and all that stuff. That's all part of the process of, of this awakening. My multiple awakenings have happened throughout the years, and I have shared some of that too. And, I've had some really cool experiences, and connecting with my ancestors has always been like such a strong point for me. Of course, I have my guides, and I love Christ, and I love, the archangels, and I love Don Nancy, which is, the Sacred Mother, and um, and it's just and it's just amazing, And yes, I've gone through those deep purges, and I still go through purging. I still go through like, things, but not as much as I used to. I used to get, especially when I was doing a lot of ancestral healing within my body, my blood was clearing out a lot. So on a physical and DNA level, this was years ago. This is not now, I don't have this anymore, thank God. But years ago, when I was doing a lot of deep ancestral healing and cleansing, I could feel it through the DNA structure almost down to my bone. And it would physically hurt. Like my whole body would physically hurt. And I had to learn how to heal myself with herbs, plant medicine, remedies, um, going out into nature, and continuing to speak with nature and to heal within my lineage. And the more and more I did that, the more I got revealed to me who my ancestors were, what lineage I came from, and different pictures and stuff I seen of my family and the colonization that my ancestors had gone through. And it's not easy to see the pictures. It's not easy to feel that pain, and it's not easy, to notice and know what happened. You know, so we all come from different bloodlines. We all come from some sort of trauma in some way. Some way, somewhere, some way, there was colonization that happened. There was this major patriarchy system that happened. And to clear that out takes courage to go deep. Yeah. So it does take courage to go deep. So I do urge you, if you don't know your lineage, find out who your ancestors were. Find out. If you were a colonizer, if you do come from the colonizer bloodline, that's deep. That's deep to heal. That's deep to clear through. But even then, like people of European bloodlines or Irish bloodlines, they too got colonized too. So there's somewhere in there we all come from earth-based foundational medicine. And this isn't to like reject Christ or Jesus. This isn't to reject that. But yeah, so it's just to acknowledge that these clearings and healings go really, really deep. So yeah, if you're doing so, Rose and Amanda are both going through really, really deep healings, past life karma, and craziness. Yeah, the amount of insanity that is on the planet right now. What takes like the antidote for this craziness? Yeah. with the antidote with the craziness is to find some sort of discipline, a discipline type of practice where you can, go into prayer, go into meditation, go into cleansing through the cellular level. Within a European bloodline, so the European bloodline, I'm not too familiar what that will all consist of with you, just to be honest. I'm not European, but I do have a little bit of that colonizer within Spaniard in me, but it's not much because even that bloodline fought for the revolution. Yeah. So see, a lot of this, like the hurt that you caused other people, I've dealt with that too, just having to cope with that, having to understand, that guilt, that shame. Um, oh yeah, so that's like a lot, major guilt, major shame in that. So you want to be very compassionate with yourself when dealing with these type of issues. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so we have past lives, and a lot of people are gonna use their healing in different contexts. So some people are called to work with past lives, and some people are called to work with just their bloodline that they're inherited in now. So nothing is like the right way, wrong way, but we do want to have a clear way. And we do want to make sure that you are, going into that right direction and right relation with spirit, right relation within yourself. So, Arlie is saying, here's a question. I've been dreaming of my past and future life experiences. Do you recommend a prayer for guidance? I don't know what I'm going through. Past and future experiences. Yeah. So, if you're dealing with within your dream time, past and future experiences, um, a prayer for guidance. The most beautiful prayer that I would really stick to, especially right now, is to have certainty. To have certainty and to have clarity. Yeah, so a lot of people do dream of events that happen, prophesized events. I get that a lot too. Being or having the prophetic dreams. Yeah, that's a gift, and it could be confusing as it like unfolding more and more. But you want to just kind of like take it day by day, and also just don't take it too seriously, and study it and then note it and then note the accuracy on it. And don't be scared of it, but do cultivate it and pray about it. I would say, this is my gift and I thank you for this gift, and show me how to use this. Yeah, yeah. So some of you guys are talking about someone that does Akash readings. There's a lot of people that do Akash readings. You could access your own Akash readings. um, uh, yeah, there's different people that offer different things, but please be advised to go to the right people, know their source, know, you know, know it what it is and who it is that you're working with. That's what I suggest. you know. Yeah. A lot of the times you don't really want someone telling you, this is what happened to you in a past life, and this is why this, and that. Please discover that on your own. You have the ability to discover that on your own. The deeper you go, the more you will see. And also, the deeper you go, the more you will notice that you don't need a lot of things, and you can let go of a lot of dogmas and stuff. So, just letting you know on that one. Inner work, you could do a lot of more inner work. So, yeah, I don't advertise Akash readings personally. I've never had, no, I take that back. I had a client that she did some sort of Akash readings, and I noticed afterwards I had to clear a lot of energy from that. So I wouldn't recommend it personally. So. Hi, Magdalena. Hello, hello. So yeah, working within your own field, your own energy field, that brings your power back to you, right? So learning what needs to be cleared and getting very clear and certain on that. Yeah, being very clear and certain, having certainty. That's why I said the most important prayer that you'll be able to pray, or that you should be praying at this time, is a prayer for clarity and certainty. Certainty on who you are, and clarity on who it is that you work with and what direction you're headed into. There's many, many different modalities out there. And, I'm not saying you need to do this and this is the way you're going to do. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Master V. Yeah. Keep your Akashic records to yourself. Keep others out of them and read them yourself. That is very true. You don't want anybody reading those for you. Those are sacred to you, and they're made for you. They're made for you to unlock, and you have the ability and the gift and the power to do it yourself. Yep. So, yeah, I've always had access and the ability to look into whatever rabbit hole within my energetic field I needed to see. And how you do this is you go within and you feel, and you ask yourself, feel it. And then you could ask yourself a question. And then if you don't get a clear answer, because you may not right away, that's okay. You could just leave it. How did you open to your soul mission? I just, I follow the breadcrumbs. I have really good connections, and then I've had not so good connections, so I've had to learn both ways, just like we all do. I've taken some routes, but it was all a lesson. It was all the part of my journey, and it's the meat of your journey. It's the juiciness of your journey, right? It's the golden nuggets that get you there. And within those golden nuggets, you get to experience and run into many forms of people and many different waves of light. And in that, like in that process of finding your soul mission, because there's pretty many times like, what am I meant to do? You know, that question that you continue to ask, what am I meant to do? What am I here for? I remember being younger and my mom, her coming to me and asking me that. You know, she would ask me that. I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know what I'm here for, you know. And my mother asking me that put my consciousness at a place where I was determined to find out what my mom wanted to know, but within myself. You know, if my mom was asking that, then I knew that that was something that I needed to find out. So I went on my journey, and honestly, like many of you, a breakup um, unlocked a lot of potentials for me. After this breakup, I was like so distraught, and I was going through like, I guess, like dark night of the soul or whatever, and all my gifts were opening up, and I was having these revelations. And this was before like technology, like we had like these smartphones and stuff, because I remember I had this like old school phone that had like buttons, and it had the like the keyboard buttons on it. So this was like before like iPhones were, you know, all of that. So yeah, that's I'm aging myself. um and I just remember going to like just having these major revelations and just epiphanies happening, and I had to clear a lot of energies from my home. And I felt like I was in this like spiritual boot camp that I had no idea that was designed for me by my ancestors, and my soul and God, of course. And I remember going to my microwave, and the only button that would work on my microwave was the number 1. So every time I would put my microwave on, I would put 1111 and start. 11, and then I would wait till it would go through the whole thing, and then until I needed to press it again, I would go 1111 and start, you know, if I needed to warm up some food or something. And then now looking back on it, I was like, I was literally making the 1111 like within my field start. Like, let's start this 1111 process. um so yeah, that's one story. I have many stories. Yeah. Yeah. So that was years ago. How did you deal with the fear? Uh so I think there's different levels of fear. You know, I think there's different waves of fear. Fear is a natural human process. The human process of us realizing that we live in this reality of duality and this density, and we're gonna feel the gamut of all these emotions of love, of bliss and beauty, of sacredness and fear, you know. um and the fear is, yeah, at first I would be like, okay, this is just false evidence appearing real, you know, it's not real. But there is a part of myself that it felt extremely real for. It wasn't like, to that part of myself that I could feel that it's like, no, it feels very real. I need to sit with this right here. Yeah. So I would sit with it, and then I'd know at that point of feeling fear that I would be facing like an extreme amount of growth within facing that fear. And then the fear would dissipate and leave, you know, and maybe would come back up again to visit, to resurface itself. And I remember there was one time I was doing a lot of inner work, a lot of shadow work, and I had this like major like um energy shift that I needed to go through, and I didn't want to. I could even feel myself like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to face that. I don't want to see those shadows. Like, I don't want that. No, I'm not going there. And that was a moment of, I was facing a lot of fear at that time. I didn't want to see anymore. I was done doing my shadow work. I was done. And um yeah, lots of inner work. Yeah, and while I was like resisting all of that part, resisting that part within myself, I knew that there was a part of me that I was scared of seeing, and it wasn't necessarily a bad part. It was something that was going to give me a lot of strength and a lot of like vitality. And I just was like, okay, this is here, but I'm gonna face it anyways. And it took me time to face it. It took me increments to face it. I had to even go back to some like old tools, some just old tools that I wasn't using or hadn't used in a long time, kind of like going back to basics sort of thing. And then that would help me get through those fears. Also, I have a lot of great, I'm really blessed through this journey. I have met some incredible people, and it's took me a while to get to the point where I have my sacred circle, and the sacred circle that I carry, and that I know, and that helped me with my foundation. And we're building foundation, and we're building community. It's taken me a while to trust that. It's taken me a while to gain that confidence within my community as well. So yeah. Yeah, it takes time, especially if you've experienced trauma within relationships, with most of us have. That's the thing. Most of us have. And in the circle that I have, a lot of my friends, I know that they've had trauma. So I've had to like step up even as a healer too within the friendship and say, all right, I accept you for you. You're welcome, Magdalena. Like, I accept you for you, and I love you for you because I can see the strength and the beauty in you. And I'm gonna be here for you as you dissolve what it is that you need to dissolve, that is blocking this love between our friendship. I've had to do that with multiple friendships. So sometimes it takes you as the leader, you as the one that is holding more of this recognition, where you can see the pain in others, but where you could also see their beauty and their strengths and their just magnificent gifts. And when somebody is met with true compassion, when somebody is met with like confidence, like, I'm here and I have a gift for you, right? A lot of that was going to be met with resistance, especially if you're meeting people, you're meeting community, you're meeting your friends, and you can tell, like, I can tell this is a true person. I can tell this person has like something uniquely profound in them. And you work with them through that. Like, I can see this, and I'm going to work with you through that. And it builds great bonds, and it builds strengthening and trust. And yeah, it's not easy, because it takes someone to do that. It takes someone, if not both people, to say, I'm going to be here, I'm going to love you through all of this, right? So this is the stage what a lot of us have to go through. Yeah, we have to learn how to accept and forgive people. And this doesn't mean like I accept abusive behaviors, because I'm not scared to cut people off at all. But this is saying, like, I see an amazing healer in front of me. I see an amazing, gifted, person in front of me that has wounds. But, and I know it's going to take time for trust to evolve here. and then you just show up and you keep your word, and you show your true friends that, I don't go back on my word. I keep my word. And I expect you to keep your same. I expect the same for you. And you will get the same in return. It's it's a beautiful dance within friendships, and it's something that we all really have to learn how to do as we're evolving and building community. Community is really important within this next phase that we're going through, within the Aquarian age, within the new earth. Community is really super important. And so you're dealing with wounded people, wounded inner children, and you're dealing with, some disabilities, sometimes within the energy, some distortions or whatnot. And yeah, you have to understand that, I love you for where you are. And sometimes maybe there's a separation that happens in a friendship and you come back together and it's beautiful, you know. But in doing this dance with my friends within my own community, I have learned, and this is just the information that I've gathered and just personal experience. Um, I have learned that, with keeping your word and standing your ground, you gain trust from others. I've also learned taking in like a leadership role within the community. Um, it it takes a lot of belief in yourself, a lot of action, action and prayer. And also within a true Indigenous teaching and within community, within lineage, especially within lineage, because I carry a lineage. Um, if you're backed up by your teachers and you're backed up by prayer, it goes a long, long way. And it brings in blessings on blessings. And some of you may know what I'm talking about, and some of you may not. But a lineage really helps to strengthen, and it ripples out into your community, right? So, for instance, I created my celebration in October, and it was a few weeks after my birthday, but it was still a birthday celebration for me, and I had some very beautiful people praying for me and wishing me well in this creation that I was creating, this event, this celebration. And in that's backed up, you're backed up by prayer. In that, and the results of that was extremely beautiful and powerful, not just for myself but for everyone, because I wasn't there just for me. I was there because I wanted to experience the gifts of my friends and what it is that we can create together. So that grew, right? It grew confidence within the community. It grew confidence within myself. And I'm also learning. I'm learning how to put these community retreats together. I'm learning how to put this together because I have an elder that's teaching me. I have another elder that's praying for me. I have another elder that's showing me different ceremonial ways, right? This gives you roots. This gives you backup. This gives you confidence. So this is, I'm sharing this is because it takes work and it takes time to build that. And if you have the call for that's part of my mission work. If you have the call for that, if you have the call for that to be your mission, you will know, it takes a lot of inner work, a lot of inner strength, and a lot of understanding on people, different personalities, how they work, different ways that people's strengths are, what their strengths are. And the ability to have the eyes and the vision to see it. and the ability to have the eyes and the vision to say, like, I can help this. I know I can create this and I can help that grow, right? And if we can't do it for you know, everyone, for each other, but we can hold space for one another. Yeah, this awakening cleared so much people. So this is Amanda. I'm reading this comment from Amanda. That's awesome. I feel like this awakening cleared so much people. I need my people to come in. Yeah. So there's different waves, you know. I don't know if you guys have heard about the different waves of awakening, like first wave, second wave, all that stuff. I don't know what wave we're in now. I don't even know what wave I was in, but I know I was like, you know, it was years ago. Years ago. 10, maybe 11 years ago. I don't, maybe long more than that. Yeah, it could have been 12 years ago, I think now. I had to look back. But yeah, there's different waves of awakening. And I walked a long time alone. You know, I did have people that I would go to groups with, and I had, you know, I had my groups, and, you know, we would come together and, you know, but those weren't the ones that truly stuck yet. You know, those weren't the ones that was like, this is the group I'm building community with. That wasn't quite there yet. You know, it was getting there, it was preparing me for it, but it wasn't quite there yet. So, yeah. Yeah, so I hope that story helped you. You know, building community, working with friends, understanding different personalities, you know, and yeah, and as like my friends don't book sessions with me. um, but we're all very powerful healers, you know, in our own way. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so Rose says, thank you for doing this video. I really needed to hear all this. Now I see I'm not alone. We can help each other to heal. Just be on here and talk about it. We help each other. Yeah, we can help each other and heal. You know, I've gotten a lot of compliments. Okay. Yeah, you need to follow those promptings if you're called to move somewhere. Or even called to stay where you're at, you know, because sometimes you can build something really beautiful where you're at too. You wish I would be on more often. Yeah, well, we'll see. Like I said, I think I want to do like a podcast. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, you know, advice like this, you know, understanding yourself, and studying yourself first. And you don't want to psychoanalyze anybody, because everybody has their own stuff and everybody's going through their own thing at their own pace and at their own time. But, you know, really studying yourself and having the most compassionate for yourself. And then you can recognize when you're involved with somebody else, a friend that comes into your physical existence, and you could recognize their wounds, and you could recognize, hey, like, I've dealt with this, I know that. Oh wow, that stings. But, you know, I can walk with them through this. And you're not trying to do it for them, but you're just holding space, and you're seeing without judging. Because I guarantee you, you are all very energetically aware. You're all very energetically aware and sensitive. And if someone starts to judge you, you're going to feel that. And that's going to have an uneasy energy between you and somebody else. So you got to learn how to navigate energies correctly, you know? Okay. Yeah, someone says you saw some photos of my celebration, my birthday celebration. Well, nice. Thank you. It was overflowing with gratitude. Yeah, it was. It really was. It was a really special day for me. um, yeah. Yeah, podcast. I don't know how to do that, but if you guys have tips, I need help like with the what is it called? Um internet stuff. Um, so all right, everybody. I think I am complete talking. Let us end this beautiful discussion. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. And, I'm glad I could guide you through things and help you with things. Okay, cool. Thank you, Amanda. Okay, nice. Thank you so much. I'll get back to you probably tomorrow. All right, so let's go ahead and complete this. This is, December. This is our final month of this year. It has been a beautiful year. Or just meet here once a week, maybe. We'll see. So I'm getting requests to do lives once a week. Um, yeah, so December, the completion of this year. What has this year gifted you with? The lessons. And it might be hard to find those, especially if you're like deep in it. But I can guarantee you it's there somewhere. There's always some place to find gratitude. And what is it that you are letting go of? The energies that we are stepping into and closing this year out is such a great time for us to release. It's a great, great time for us to release all that doesn't serve us, all that is ready to go and transcend. Yeah. And yeah, those of you who are, looking to work more, I do Patreon. I put recordings on Patreon. And this is like guided meditations with my light language for the new moon and full moon. I also do one once a month and for a union also. So there's different recordings that are available on Patreon if you're interested in that. So let's take a deep breath in and honoring this month, honoring what it is that you, or where you are. Yeah. Someone said, I like this is sweet. So I mentioned that holding gratitude feels the same as keeping a small flame lit. Yeah, there's a flame here that we're keeping lit. And we can have gratitude, closing this year out with a heart of gratitude, with an attitude of gratitude. That we can see that although through all the chaos that is happening within the world, there is change. Although there is days that are better than others, that we shift through energies. Some energies more easily and profoundly than others. Some we just feel power and, high. Some it feels like we're treading through mud. All these are very valid and very parts of our existence, parts of our awakening, parts of coming into this new energy. And we want to just take a deep breath in and thanking that, the great beauty, thanking the great spirit that is here connecting us all. It is so sacred. It is sacred within you. It is sacred vibration that keeps us having faith. All these warriors who have came to transcend. And we ask Creator, God, Source, Great Spirit, the Holy Divine, the infinite love of peace, to descend upon us and to continuously show us the way with certainty, with devotion, with strength. Thank you for the people that will be coming into your lives, because they will be. And just breathing. And the leader that you are, recognizing her, him, because there's great work for you to do. And recognizing where there is fear and having compassion for that and breathing. Like it is okay. It is okay. I see you. Sometimes it just wants to be seen so it could be released. And through all time and space, with a grateful heart, all that will listen to this recording and stick all the way through it. It's a long one. Thank you for sticking with me. Wow. And just breathing in and thanking ourselves for being so brave to be here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With much gratitude and peace in my heart, I send it to you. I bow to you. I honor you. And I know you will find your destiny and be called into your sacred path. And know what's true. Have that discernment. Yeah. Don't let anybody read your stuff, because it might not be in what you want. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Source. Thank you. All right, so I have one question from Matthew about multiple light language meditations pay with a Cash App. I don't think my website accepts Cash App. But I think I accept Apple Pay and cards, credit cards. So no Cash App. Sorry. So, All right, thank you. Thank you, everyone. And yeah, blessings on your way, blessings on your path. I'm glad that you stuck with this live. And yeah, I was able to share some insight, um, especially having to do with relationships, friendships. Um, yeah, there is a note on my website if you need to pay with PayPal. Um, I'll try to answer here, but with the specific transmissions on my site, if you're looking for like a description on what it is that they do, I I don't really can't really go into detail on that. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like buying someone's soundtrack or someone's album, and they worked really hard on it. And they might be able to tell you everything, in their album, or they might not, you know. Uh, and maybe it's just something that you have to just trust because it's going to be helpful. Thank you, Master V. Thank you. Kind of like that, kind of like a mystery box. My work is, if you like my work on here, and there's one you're drawn to on my website, is pretty. There's a pretty good reason that there's a there that you can trust that attraction. Yeah, you're probably referring to the 144 Trust the Faith. That's a really good recording. It's a really, really good one. So it's one of the ones that I recommend. The two I always recommend is 144 Keep the Faith and Nighttime Medicine, and also 2244. I believe that one's like a twin flame clearing, but it's really good. Yeah. So my daughter, um she's really, her and her friends are so into angel numbers right now. And it's, when numbers start appearing to you like that, it's pretty exciting. So it's cute to see my daughter and her friends all into these number sequences. Um, how long does it take to get back with the email light language? Usually I should get back to you. Oh, like that's like the distant one. So Amanda and Rose made a soul connection here. I'm glad you guys had that. Awesome. Um, it depends, Amanda, on my schedule. So right now, I'm probably by like Monday. You'll probably hear back from me by Monday. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you'll probably hear back from me by Monday. But if you purchase it right away, like I'll get back to you. So, yeah. All right, you guys, thank you. And, as always, stay blessed. Trust your intuition. Yeah. Trust your intuition. Thank you. Many blessings.